Today we are going to learn about rock cycle. Rocks do not remain in their original form but may undergo transformation. Now we have learnt about igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks, their formation and types. Now we are going to learn about rock cycle. That means each and every rock may undergo transformation. The rock cycle is a continuous process. It's a dynamic process through which old rocks are transformed into new ones. The three main rock types we have learnt already: igneous, metamorphic and sedimentary rocks. The process of rock cycle in which all processes generally take place. Several processes are there. It can turn one type of rock into another type of rock. The key processes of the rock cycle are crystallization, erosion and sedimentation, and metamorphism. Now, for each and everything, we need weathering first and foremost. And from which kind of weathering? It can be physical without changing the chemicals, that is the minerals, or chemical weathering when the minerals are changed, or biological weathering. After weathering from that particular area, the fragments, the granules, the granular sediments, or the big boulders and all, they get eroded and transported and get deposited to other place. There they get buried, compressed and compact. Then after that the lithification takes place, lithification of sedimentary rocks. Now these sedimentary rocks that also go under deformation and metamorphism, and when the metamorphic rocks form or sedimentary rocks itself get crystallized of magma. And then why magma? Because first it gets melted and then it gets crystallized. And if it is intrusive, then it will be uplifted, or if it is extrusive, then again the same process of weathering will carry on. Let us study step by step. Transition of igneous rocks to metamorphic rocks as well as sedimentary rocks takes place. Sedimentary rocks turn into igneous rocks and metamorphic rocks, and metamorphic rocks itself will turn into or transform into igneous rocks or sedimentary rocks. Here is the picture which is there in the book also. We are going to study step by step. Okay. Let us first learn about the crustal rocks, that is igneous, metamorphic and sedimentary. Once they are formed, after that they may be carried down into the mantle. How? Suppose sedimentary rocks. It will be first and foremost, if it is buried deep in the deep inside the earth due to high pressure from upper layers and temperature from within, because there are radiogenic heat, radioactive materials are there into interior of the earth. It will get melted, and then this melted rock will be rising as magma and form into intrusive igneous rocks. Next point, metamorphic rocks. It will go in the same, if it is much more buried inside, more inside the earth, same way, because of the radiogenic heat, that is the radioactive materials are there, it will get melted because of the high pressure and temperature. And after the melting, it will form into magma. The magma will be uplifted up due to interior pressure, and it will, if it is getting cooled, then it will form into intrusive igneous rocks. Now intrusive igneous rocks again itself, If it is crustal upliftment is there and denudation is there, and after that if it is uncovered because of denudation, then what will happen? Because of denudation, that is disintegration, decomposition, dissolution, the sediments will be formed. Sediments will be transported, eroded and transported and deposited somewhere else. Then it will be buried and lithified because of the compaction and compression and lithification. And then after that, that sedimentary rock again will be, because of that deep down environment, will be melting and form into magma. Magma again turn into igneous rock. When it is uplifted, getting cooled, it will form into intrusive igneous rocks if it is within the earth crust. But suppose all these metamorphic rocks, sedimentary rocks, or intrusive igneous rocks, or extrusive igneous rocks through the sedimentation, sedimentary and all, or metamorphism, if it is melted and then rise above the earth crust, it will form into extrusive igneous rocks after cooling. Again, the same process will go on. That extrusive igneous rocks, again, it may, because of the denudation and all, or if it gets by chance plate tectonic, if it gets buried inside the earth crust, then it will melt, and again the melted magma will be uplifted. Again, it may form into intrusive igneous rocks or extrusive igneous rocks depending on the places it is getting cooled. Next one is coming about the sedimentary rocks. Now, sedimentary rocks, suppose extrusive igneous rocks. Because of the disintegration, decomposition, dissolution, here it is written solar energy. That means wind, rain, hydrological cycle, ocean currents, tides, they will weather, and the sediment will be eroded, transported, deposited to somewhere else, buried, and lithification will take place. And then after the lithification, what will form? Sedimentary rocks will form. Now sedimentary rocks, we have learned from extrusive igneous rocks. Next one is intrusive igneous rocks. Intrusive igneous rocks, if it is uplifted or it is uncovered because of weathering by crustal upliftment or denudation, disintegration, decomposition, dissolution, that is weathering will take place, and that will form into sediment. That sediments will be transported, deposited somewhere else. It will be buried and lithification of sedimentary rocks will take place. Now let us learn about metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks, because of uncovering by crustal upliftment and denudation, same process. It will be moving towards the to form or transform to sedimentary rocks. And sedimentary rocks itself, suppose deep down it has formed already and the lower layers has been, because of the plate tectonic or denudation has taken place, and the same process of weathering, erosion, transportation, deposition, all this taking place, then the same way it will carry on is forming into sedimentary rocks. Next one, over long period of time, sedimentary rocks, igneous rocks, both of it end up buried deep inside the earth crust. Because of the crustal movement, they get buried and all, or sedimentary rocks because of the overlying pressure and the high temperature from radiogenic heat. If it is contact, that means we have learnt already, near the magma's chamber but did not melt. It is just contact with the other rock materials near the, like batholith or any intrusive magmas and all. So there it will be metamorphosed and forming into metamorphic rock. Igneous rocks in same way, it will form into metamorphic rocks, either extrusive or intrusive, because of the crustal movement bearing and getting transformed into metamorphic rocks. Now metamorphic rocks itself, suppose it is coming under the heat, radiogenic heat. So same crystals, same minerals will transform into another minerals and form into metamorphic rock itself, transforming metamorphic to another metamorphic rocks. So we can see that due to solar energy we are getting weathering, then that is the denudation, disintegration, decomposition, dissolution. Sediments are formed, sediment is getting eroded, then transported, deposited somewhere else, and there after that burial and lithification is taking place. Now here you have to remember surface environment, that is pressure is low and that temperature is also lower. So there it will not turn into other rocks like metamorphic or igneous. For igneous and metamorphic we need this particular environment, that is high pressure and temperature. High pressure of temperature of within the earth crust, whereas this one sedimentary rock, that is above the earth crust. Within the crust, this one is, this intrusive is forming, or melting of magma is there, or metamorphic is there. But for sedimentary rocks it is the surface environment, and then surface, from that we are getting lithification of sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks will turn into metamorphic or igneous or extrusive rocks, that is igneous rocks. Again that extrusive igneous rocks or intrusive igneous rocks or metamorphic rocks through the weathering, erosion, that is disintegration, decomposition, dissolution, then erosion, transportation, deposition, then burial, compaction and compression, lithification will take place and form into sedimentary rocks. Same way, extrusive rocks, extrusive igneous rocks, through sedimentation, through sedimentary rock, again if it is going through the same process, that is deep environment, then either it will get metamorphosed if it is near the magma chamber but not means touching the magma, that is contact metamorphism may take place, or if it is melting, then intrusive or extrusive igneous rocks will form. Metamorphic rocks itself is forming into intrusive, extrusive rocks, igneous rocks, or it is forming into sedimentary rocks. Again sedimentary continuous process is going on from one rock to another. That's why it is called rock cycle.